While from District of Columbia, Washington, we have Norman Floyd Barnes. I want to begin with Norman. Just to let you know, in the last 24 hours, Bangladesh has been shaken by two earthquakes of very large magnitudes, 4 to 5 in the range. And I believe it's cause of a concern because the frequency has increased at an all-time high. However, I want to begin with Norman regarding the State of the Union address earlier on this week. And how do you think the weekend is going to be shaping up? Because today is, of course, the third round of talk between Iran and the U.S. I want to pass the mantle to Norman. How are you doing today? A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning from the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. We are this morning is trying to figure out uh, what meaningful outcomes will come after the president spoke to the nation the other day, and what actions the government is prepared to take regarding the issue with Iran. Right now, the military is waiting, waiting for instructions on what's going on while the negotiations continue to talk. The conversation is now shifting from nuclear weapon enrichment to ballistic missiles. And the issue, actually, let me tell you, the issue is that there's a connection between Venezuela and Iran, and that information is coming out in bits and pieces. But there's a strong connection on what happened in Venezuela and the connection, we call it the ghost fleet, the shadow fleet that Russia and other countries are utilizing to bring oil from Iran to Venezuela and vice versa. Uh, I can tell you that Venezuelan oil is very, very rich, very thick, almost like sludge, and the oil in the Middle East is more of mid grade. So basically, combining them two will make the oil flow more fluid. So we're looking at see what that connection is, how the U.S. is viewing that connection in terms of moving the oil around the globe, and exactly how Russia and China is talking about this situation. So that is the upcoming thing, and of course this shooting of the speedboat this yesterday on the off the coast of Cuba
Right.
by Cuban nationalists from Florida is spiking the news right now. Secretary Rubio is concerned and talking about a response to this situation. But right now it's up in the air how this going on. But the actual shooting of people on a speedboat going to Cuba is very unusual. Uh, the president mentioned that it was highly unusual. So the content of this is they're talking using the word terrorism, terrorist groups or whatever. So the context of this is still up in the air. So this is an upcoming story, how it's going on, and at the same time, former President Clinton and Hillary Clinton are scheduled to talk today, testify today on the Hill regarding the Epstein files and their involvement.
I really enjoy your journalistic aspects as you've covered almost all the breaking news titles from around the world. I want to keep this conversation going as we're still awaiting for Professor Abdullah Al Mamoon. I know that fossil fuels is or was or is currently very valuable to the U.S. administration to run its operations. And we also see a pattern with Venezuela and Iran, as you were saying in your statement. And Latin America seems to be the hotspot for narco trafficking, for terrorist activities, and as well as we've seen how El Mento from Mexico has been captured, and that violence is cartel violence is still gripping various Mexican cities. The implications almost about 56 days since the year began and also the White House, the State of the Union address, all of this combined, the U.S. position seems to be in a very toppling situation. I read on CNN for our viewers as well as Norman Floyd from D.C. that the Joint Chief Staff, Dan Kane, is drafting military plans for Iran for the coming week. However, the two sides are very adamant on one issue, and this is a burning issue. Last year, we've seen a stockpile of enriched uranium disappearing in Iran, and that is where the concern is. To some point, Donald Trump said Iran shall never have a nuclear weapon. Of course, that will endanger Israel as far as I am concerned. Do you think that they are already in holding such a weapon, but it is not out to the masses or to the mass media? What is your observation, Norman Floyd, as 403 kilograms of enriched uranium went missing just last year?
Yes, the situation is that the public is not aware of all of the situation. It's a little bit more than just the enriched uranium. They are getting assistance from uh, China. They're getting assistance from Russia. They're getting assistance from other part of Eastern Europe regarding the drones, the use of the drones. And now they're looking at ballistic missiles rumored to be able to hit the continent of the United States, intercontinental missile ability. Yes, these are just rumors right now, but there's intelligence swirling that they are very close to developing a intercontinental missile that can reach the shores of the United States.
Right.
So, with that said, you can imagine how the Congress and intelligence people are talking about this issue with Iran. Do we go in now, strike, or do we wait? Do we wait for other allies, or we just go on this thing alone? We know Israel is ready to go, uh, but the issue is regarding the other countries around between Israel and Iran. What is their response? Turkey, what is your response? China, what is your response? Saudi Arabia, what is your response to this situation? Will we have to fully engage, or will this be more of a surgical hit strike, and we come back and talk again on exactly how we coexist? Right now, there's no clear answers because the intelligence, which is the intelligence is very weak, which means they are very well, they are covering their tracks and utilizing new technology to divert and deflect actually what's movement. There's movement in the country in terms of getting supplies from other countries coming in, the latest technology to jam, interfere, and deflect uh, uh, their movements of equipment is now in place in Iran. So Iran has the ability to do stealth uh, military equipment, military response. So until this is resolved, we're going to continue to talk. The United States will continue to talk and try to flush out exactly what is going on and their capabilities. So right now, we're just waiting and see exactly how this thing pans out. But right now, there's a plan in place, there's a conversation in place, and there's actually movements of equipment in the region to prepare for this attack or defense. How you look at it? How are we going to look at it in terms of defense of Iran? So it's a day by day situation, minute by minute. And so we're waiting to see exactly how this thing plays out. It's a little bit more than yes or no, we go in or we go not. There's collateral issues that need to be addressed, and the countries in the region are talking very strongly about a preventive measure to avoid this unknown response from Iran.
I took your statement and I broke it down to some of these aspects and some avenues. I want to discuss. We are actually living day by day regarding this confrontation between these two sides, the US and of course Iran. And I understand for a fact that Middle East is hosting a lot of immigrant population, not only from here, South Asia, but as well as many other nationalities who are there. We had initial reports of troops being called out of Middle Eastern bases which belong to the US forces. Not only so, some of these nations have said that they shall not entertain any kind of attacking, confrontational stances from their land, air, or sea. And I believe that if there was to be an escalation, it would definitely have an effect for the global oil markets. I want to understand, do you think that because of Strait of Hormuz as well as this overall confrontational behavior and temperature, do you think the world markets shall be affected?
Yes, I can tell you immediately. The first thing is that the passageway of the Strait of Hormuz will be cut off. Minefield or whatever, that will be cut off, which is no, we know if you can't get through that area, 20% of the world oil industry is delayed. They're gonna have to be deflected or stopped. So that will have a tremendous effect on how things are happening in the world. So everybody's trying to avoid this situation because it affects the entire world, not just the region, not just Iran. Everybody, every country has a stake in this. The insurance rates will go up, the time will go up. The cost of oil, the cost of doing business will be affected is because of this conflict, this war, this whatever you want to call it, the response, how we deal with that. So one thing is guaranteed: once there is a initiation of activity, military action, the first area is the Strait of Hormuz will be shut off. So we can prepare for that. So how the other countries take that, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you that people do not like to lose money. Countries are not in a situation to be able to absorb this type of shock, this type of war. So Iran itself is using leverage to deal with this situation with the United States and Israel.
A very new government here in Bangladesh. Just a few comments that I want to pass on to you. Many changes are happening in positions of power, and one such that has happened yesterday. The Bangladesh Bank governor is being transitioned. There is a new governor designate who is coming in. All of this is causing an uproar on social media. I know the optimism is real. I want your comments regarding Bangladesh and how we should fare with this transitional time. More from Norman.
Yes, yes, this period of time should be looking at a period of enlightenment, empowerment, and basically the voice of the people should be heard. The election was a tremendous uh, movement towards the future. However, now it's time to do something. Okay, we have a new government, we have people in place, we have impact. Let's engage. So, how they engage? Do we go back? Do they go back to the old ways, or do they investigate and try new things? I severely hope that the government venture out to do new things regarding the region of South Asia and how South Asia can realign itself with what's happening on a multipolar level. They should understand that Bangladesh is the key. Bangladesh is the missing piece that was worrying about getting a new government in. So now Bangladesh has a government. Bangladesh has an obligation to take a leadership role, not a participation role.
Of
And
course.
basically, with the young and the new population there, there's no reason that the young and the new can't engage instead of waiting to be told what to do. They know exactly what's going on in the global context. They're talking day to day with their neighbors, and they're talking in all parts of the world. They have, I'd say over 15 million people in other parts of the world. So all these people are
Right.
antennas. They tell you exactly what's happening in the world and how they see things, and they should engage in that. And with that, the Bangladesh government should respond in a way of progression. We're
Right.
going to progress, and how can we engage in the situation, and how can we change the tide of what's happening in South Asia, and basically have a impact and influence on exactly how things going to happen in the world.
Right.
Technology, how do that include Bangladesh? That should immediately look at education, technology, and right now you mentioned the earthquake. This is a
Right.
prime example where what's going on. The region is uh, very unstable. So now the point is now you have a government, reach out to your contemporary neighbors and talk about a regional plan. How do we deal with this instead of a Bangladesh issue? It's a regional issue that need to be
Correct.
addressed. And I think this would probably be the most impactful thing is that how do we address with regional issues collectively? Are we communicating? Are we sharing resources? Are we talking with that? So you don't have the time because things are happening. So you have to engage.
Right.
We don't have a honeymoon period. You are now in the big boy seat. Bangladesh. So now you have to respond. You want it, now you have it. Let's do something about it and let's engage and lead instead of participate.